Hello guys and welcome back to Evo Bangalore. So today we have a Toyota Innova Crysta which is dropped down from Tamil Nadu for a complete Audiophile-Grade Pro audio upgrade. So without any further delay, let's get started. So guys, starting off with this Innova Crysta is a very special project and a very unique project at the same time. This particular Crysta build, the customer was very specific that this car is chauffeur driven and he wants best of the best music to be heard from the middle row and the last row. So we had done 2 or 3 other Crystas back at Evo a couple of years before of 3-way active in the middle row and 2-way active in the middle row. Now this particular setup is again a 2-way active in the middle row and 2-way passive in the front, and the third row has something special packed up which most of the Crysta owners would love to know. So stay tuned till the end to see what that special thing is on the third row. So let's get started under the hood, and for any audio setup the foundation of that setup is wiring. So make sure you choose the right wires and make sure the wires are routed in the right manner. So for this particular build, the wires which we have chosen is from the house of Quadin and Aura. So the power cables are from the house of Quadin. 2 4-gauge wires have been routed out inside the cabin. Now we have also created a custom bracket in order to situate the fuse holder, so the fuse holder is tight and does not move around. So what happens is most of the installers just leave a fuse holder hanging around, and there are a lot of moving components in the engine bay which kind of affects over a period of time. So make sure your fuse holder is tight and does not move around. So the power cable is 40 centimeters before the fuse holder, and it has been routed out neat and tight into the cabin. No extra holes were created in order to pass the power cables. We have used the original factory rubber garments in order to pass the cable inside the cabin. So that's how it's been done, and the entire cabling from the battery till the amplifier is being neatly sleeved, heat crimped and protected so that whatsoever the wires stay safe, because this is the foundation of any audio setup. So let's move inside the cabin to show you guys what all equipments have been installed and how they have been installed. Now that I showed you guys the wiring and how important wiring is in a pro audio build, another crucial part of any pro audio build or any audio build is damping, because the speakers are playing between 2 metal parts in the door. So you should make sure that the car is damped well in order to get the best out of the speaker. In this particular Innova Crysta, we have done 3 layers damping on all the 4 doors, 2 layers on the metal and 1 layer on the plastic door pad in order to reduce all the vibrations and resonance. So 3-layer damping on all the 4 doors and 2-layer dampings on the boot. And the customer also requested us to do the entire floor damping as he wanted less road noise to come into the cabin. So right now there's a day and night difference from before and after, because right now there's hardly any outside noise or ambient noise coming into the picture. The cabin is way silent and you can enjoy good music. So make sure the damping is also done right in your car. So usually in all our videos we start with the front, because we usually concentrate on the front staging, because most of the customers drive their own cars. But in this case I'm starting it from the middle row. Reason being, the customer sits right here and is chauffeur driven. The customer wanted it to be 2-way active in the rear, and the choice of component which you have gone is from the house of Audible Physics. And this is no regular Audible Physics speaker driver. This is the Audible Physics AR Limited. So this is the Aberro series limited edition. This was the same component driver which had won in our EMA Master 5000 category as well. Our gold record had this paired up with the Ram 3SR. So we have chosen the same component onto this particular build. Now the customer wanted a very stealth installation as he did not want the equipments to pop out. So he was not convinced for a pod out here on the rear door. There are a lot of factors which came into consideration, and then we finalized with going with the flush mount. Now the AR Limited, as you guys have seen it before, comes with a silver brown border out here. Now the customer did not want that silver border to pop out, so we had to again custom paint it. It was a huge task for us, but we managed to pull it off and got it to very stealth finish. Now as you guys can see, it kind of camouflages with the door pad, and the tweeters have been mounted here. And the other task which we faced is that these are all off-axis angling and the customer sits behind, and we need to get the right staging. With the help of JL Tune Max and other microphones, we managed to get the right staging on the picture. So it was a huge task for us, but we ended up pulling it off even though it was off-axis. And we have multiple presets for different seats, so that wherever the customer sits, he can toggle down to that particular preset in order to get the right staging. So the AR is on the back, and the best part is the Audible Physics AR is also installed in the front, which I'll be showing you guys later. Now driving down, this particular speaker driver is from the house of JL Audio, the JL Audio VX800/8i. It's an 8-channel internal amplifier with a 10-channel DSP. We went with a one-piece unit because we didn't want to cover a lot of real estate into the cabin, and the customer again did not want any of his amplifiers to be visible. So we have chosen the JL Audio's VX800/8i. So the 8 channels will be running all the speaker drivers, and the 2 output has gone to a mono block, which is the JL JD500/1, which will be running the subwoofer, which I'll be showing you guys soon in the video. So let's move ahead to show you guys what speakers have been installed in the front and how they have been installed. Now moving to the front, having such good components, such amazing amplifier DSPs, and running it with a stock head unit does not make sense, because that's where the adulteration starts. So the choice of head unit on this particular car is again from the house of Pioneer. The Pioneer's top of the line, the ZS9350BT. So that is the source, which has wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and this car had 360 from the dealer. So that 360 has also been hooked up into this. So it has all the bells and whistles with good audio. Most importantly, good audio. It has a high-res audio support plus a full HD screen. So it rings up all the bells, and it ticks up all the marks of what the customer required. And it also has a flush mount. As you guys can see, it merges with the dashboard and looks OEM. Now coming to the front component, again the AR limited is being installed even in the front, but it's not active, it is passive. So this has been running with the crossovers provided by Audible Physics. So the AR limited, since it's running passive, I didn't want it to go into the OEM location and go off axis, because the front passengers should also have better staging. So running passive with the help of the DSP, I pitched in to the customer to go with an on-axis angling ports, and that's what we have done. And especially on the Crysta, the A-pillar is designed very nicely, so we can do a custom tweeter mount, which has been done on this particular car. Again, the surround of that particular tweeter has been painted black in order to maintain the entire theme. So the tweeters have been custom angled and staged to the center in order to get a good staging, though it is passive. So custom tweeter mounts onto the front, and it also looks very nice aesthetically. So let's move to the last row, which is the most interesting part, and all you Crysta owners are gonna love this particular part. So let's move to the last row. Now moving to the most interesting part of this particular build, that is the third row speakers. Now most of them have not done a third row speaker upgrade on the Innova Crysta, as it's the least concentrated part of the car. Not many people are willing to sit at the last row of this particular vehicle, though it's very comfortable on the Innova Crysta. But in this case, the customer uses the last row as well, and he didn't want the last row to be unattended. So we have very limited space, as there's no OEM locations for speaker drivers on the last row. So we utilized the left and the right quarter panels on this particular car, where we had a little bit of space to keep your knickknacks. So that space has been occupied, and we created a custom fiber enclosure for a speaker driver. And this is no regular speaker driver, it had to timber match with the other drivers which are there in the car. So we have chosen the Audible Physics Ganesha, which is a 4-inch wideband driver, which is a mid-range plus a tweeter. Now this can play the mid-range up to the high frequencies, so the last row of passengers to enjoy high quality music. Now this speaker driver is again being RT'd and tuned. So every speaker driver has been given individual attention, and all the passengers in this particular car is gonna enjoy high-res music. Now no setup is completed without a subwoofer. So the subwoofer which we have chosen for this particular setup, since it's a pure SQ build, is from the house of Focal. This is a Focal Flexivo 10-inch slim subwoofer. Now again, we have used birch ply and fiberglass enclosure in order to create a custom fiber enclosure for this, because the customer travels a lot and wants to use a lot of this boot space for luggage purpose. Now in order to protect the subwoofer, we have also created a custom grill. Now this is a custom grill. I've just removed the grill to show you guys how the subwoofer looks like. So the grill is going to go back, and the most interesting part is usually when we do a custom fiber enclosure for a subwoofer, it is fixed. But in this case, we have created a detachable custom fiber subwoofer enclosure. So it's going to be solid there when it's placed, and it's not going to move while the car is moving whatsoever. But it is also detachable at the same time. We have given a quick disconnect neutral connector for this, so that the customer can detach the subwoofer in case he's loading a lot of luggage. So guys, this particular car adds up in one of my favorite builds which I have done, because I enjoyed listening to this particular setup. After the tuning, when I just sat into the time aligned seat and I was listening to different tracks, I was totally baffled, because this AR limited two-way speaker driver does wonders. I've listened to this particular setup in a three-way combination, but I never knew that as a two-way it can do such beautiful wonders, because after the proper RTA and perfect tuning, you can hear every minute detail which most of the two-way speaker drivers lack. So it's very difficult to differentiate whether this AR Limited is a two-way or a three-way. For an inexperienced ear, they'll easily tell it's a three-way driver because even the mid-range and vocals are so clear in this particular driver. And kudos to Audible Physics to design such amazing speaker drivers. Now, coming to the overall build cost. Now, this overall build cost with custom fabrication, the Pioneer head unit, two AR speaker drivers, the JL amp, the JL mono, comes roughly between 6.5 to 7 lakh rupees budget. Yes, this is a premium build, but every single penny spent towards this is definitely worth it, because at the end of the day, after a very stressful day, when you come and sit into your car and listen to good music, all your stress just vanishes. So this build is completely worth it, and I'm still gonna hop on back into this car and enjoy my favorite tracks because this car sounds amazing. So hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and hope it was informative for most of the Crysta owners, or especially the last row of speaker drivers. And if you guys like this video, please consider the like button and do share it to all your Crysta owners because it's going to be informative for them as well. And if you have any queries or suggestions, just let us know down in the comment section, or you can get in touch with us on WhatsApp. See you guys in the next video.